How's it going, Corillo? My name is Alex and welcome to a brand new video here at Blue Cooper Motors. Today, I'm gonna be installing the Lexus's first mod. This first mod is kinda going along the lines of the last mod I did to the Mini Cooper because it is an air filter. This is actually Lexus's F-Sport filter. As you can see, it is in blue, the color most of the F-Sport parts come. This is actually a dry, high flow air filter. The differences between a dry air filter like this one and an oiled air filter like K&N's is that the dry air filters are made with a more compact material, meaning that it lets less contaminants go into the engine, and also it is a tiny bit more restrictive in terms of air going into the engine. Meanwhile, oil air filters have a little less restrictive material for their air filters because the oil compensates grabbing all those contaminants and keeping it on the filter. But in this case, for the Lexus, I read in a lot of forums that it causes problems with the MAF sensor getting oily and it gets messed up. So me being smart and wanting to avoid that, I decided to go with the dry F-Sport high flow air filter. So now I'm gonna pop the hood and let's get started with the install. If your IS250 is as stock as mine is, you're gonna be greeted with this hole full of plastic engine bay and a lot of little trim pieces to remove, such as this little plastic buttons. You press them and they come loose. So yeah, you have to get rid of every single one of those and then you can get to the air filter. I just made a face to the camera because one of the little buttons just popped right out and went down there. So yeah, I'm gonna try to find that out and keep going. Well, I saw where it is through the front grille. I hope I can get it. Don't move. Got it. If you're gonna do this, I would recommend seriously get somewhere to put these parts on, mostly so you don't miss any of the buttons. I had this table, so I decided to put it here and then make some space for the other parts. And there's one here. And let's keep going. And it gets out. Right here, you just pull it out, and there's the air box. When you're here, it's very easy. You just take the MAF sensor off, pull it off, and pop open these clips that are around the whole air box. This last one. After you pop open those four clips around the air box, you're going to want to remove this bolt right here so you can take the top off. It is a 10mm bolt. Just to the other side. It's completely loose. Now it should be able to pop this right out. And there. Your filter is wanting to come off with the top. That's why it wasn't coming. And right there, you take the MAF sensor cable off over here, or you just can put it to the side like this, Before installing the new air filter, I would recommend to wash your hands so you avoid any type of dirt or grime to get on top of the new air filter, because that's the part that goes directly to the engine, and you want to avoid any dirt or grime getting to your engine and messing it up. Now that you're here, guys, simply remove the old air filter. This one is actually not as bad as I expected. I expected worse. It has some kind of crickets down there, but yeah, it's rather clean for what I expected. And damn, that's nasty down there. I will clean that up and install the new air filter. I was saying how clean it was, but there was more dead bees and more dirt down there when it fell. Well, at least I'm changing it. Well guys, as you see, the airbox is completely cleaned up. I opted to clean it with the vacuum cleaner and a microfiber towel, just to avoid taking it out and going through all that hassle. So yeah, you can clean it any other way you like, but that's the one I choose. Also, my car was quite dirty on the inside, so two birds with one stone. Finally, the last step, open your new air filter. The opening, oh, you have to if it's a Christmas toy, you just open it up. As you can see here, I think you can see a little bit. It says, let me see if I can get it to focus. It says do not oil, because obviously it is an oilless air filter. And I'll take this in my hand, and this goes right in here like such, and it's kind of installed there. Right now, I'm gonna start doing all the process I did, taking off the different parts of the car, and starting by putting on the top part of the airbox. It goes right in. I'm gonna first put every single one of the pins in. This goes right here. It requires a little bit of force. I was scared earlier to break the cable, but it just requires a little bit of force. We put that right there where it should. Close right here. We close this one right there, right here, right here. It should go nowhere. Place. And now let's start putting all the clips and the plastic parts on. But first I'm gonna give a little wipe to everything down here, because it is covered by the plastic parts, and most of the times I don't get to see this, so I never clean it. But right now, seeing it like it is, let me just wipe it off. It's just like a 5-minute thing. Before you guys end up finish installing, you might need to know how to reset this tiny buttons / pins that hold the plastic parts in place. Let me see if I can focus. Well, to reset them, you need to find the plastic pieces that are holding it in place, like the lower part. Then you just push it back up fully, and it is reset. Then you start doing that again with all the buttons that the plastic parts have, and then you press them down when they're in the place, and it locks everything there where it should be. Before finishing the install of the plastic parts, I just realized that some of you guys might have the question, why didn't you just install a full-on air intake, it's gonna give it more power? Well, this car has an amazing stock airbox, because as you can see right here, you have this plastic part that takes air directly into the airbox, and this is in the front of the car, so it's gonna suck all the air when you're driving and taking it directly to your air filter. So why would I install an air filter with no cover that might be actually end up being a hot air intake like most people say? So for me, the stock airbox really works. in comparison with my older car, which had the airbox all the way in the back. So yeah, that's why I installed only a filter and not like a full-on racing coil intake that will maybe be worse for performance than just keeping the stock airbox that is amazing at doing its work. Well guys, after you finish putting all those buttons back in place and leaving your engine bay completely mounted, it's time to just close the hood and you finish your job. For you guys, it has just been like 2 seconds since I finished the install, but for me it has been like around 2 weeks now. And that's all because this time I actually wanted to make a proper review instead of doing what I used to do, that was just taking the car on a 15-minute drive and saying, oh, it made such a difference. So I have been driving with the filter on the car for these last 2 weeks, which means that now I'm able to go a little bit deeper into a review instead of just saying, oh, it makes such a difference, and call it a day. But before moving on to the review, I actually forgot to put this sticker in that says that I have the Sport air filter on. So before I started filming, I actually removed the plastic covers from the engine bay and also gave a little wipe down to the airbox. So now I'm just gonna put this right here. And done. Well, right now I'm gonna put everything back into place, and after that you guys are gonna come along for a ride so we can talk about the changes the filter did to the car. Well guys, I wanted to start the review by saying that in terms of intake sound, there is not much of a difference. I know this is an NA car, so there was not gonna be any difference to begin with, so it came to no surprise. In terms of driving, on the other hand, the filter make way too much of a difference. When I first got the car, I always complained that it felt kind of slow on acceleration, that the pedal reacted way too slow when you pressed it. And after installing the new filter, those symptoms kind of alleviated in normal mode, but when you put it in sport mode, it completely changes. This car doesn't have sport mode, it's more of like ECT power mode, but it's a sport mode. Sometimes I actually considered some drastic measures like installing a pedal commander or a tune that will make the pedal feel better, but after just installing the filter, that completely changed. I'm completely happy with how this filter changed the feeling of the driving on the car. Being honest guys, something I did not pay much attention to was the 0 to 60 time. I was more focused on how the driving and the pedal feel felt than going fast. So with the OEM filter, I never checked what the 0 to 60 time was, and now with the new filter I haven't done any because I don't know what the baseline was with the old filter, so it doesn't make sense. Well, finally, something most of you are gonna be concerned about is the gas mileage, and I have to say that at least for me, gas mileage has improved quite a bit, because before I felt the tank of gas will go like and it's gone, but since changing to the new filter, the tanks of gas actually last quite a lot. Well guys, I'm back home and I just wanted to say thanks for watching the install and also coming along for the little review on the F-Sport High Flow air filter. With all that said, this is the end of today's video. So if you liked it, smash that like button, it really help out a lot. If you're unsubscribed, go subscribe. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Right here, I'm gonna leave another video of mine that YouTube will recommend you. And down here, a link so you can subscribe way more easily. And yeah, that's all. So see you next time.